Hello chess lovers, Suren here with another interesting game. With the white piece is playing Soviet chess player Anatoly Lutikov, who earned his international master title in 1967 and the grandmaster title in 1974. And on the black side is the legendary, the 8th world chess champion Mikhail. This game was played in 1965 at USSR Championship. But before starting our game, as usual, would like to warm up your brain. Please take a look at this position and try to find mate in 3. It's white to move and I will wait for your answer in the comment section. Back to our main board and let's see what happened in our game. Lutikov opened up with e4 and Tal responded with Sicilian defense c5, knight f3 e6, d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4 and knight c6. Tal is choosing the Taimanov variation. Here white can either go for knight b5 or knight c3. In our game we have knight c3, which is a more common continuation nowadays. Queen c7, bishop e3 a6, bishop d3, knight f6, white castles kingside, b5. Black is advancing on the queen side and is preparing to bring his light squared bishop on the long diagonal. Here we have the exchange of knights on c6 and a3. Tal is stopping any possible b4 moves, bishop b7, queen e2. With this move white is connecting his rooks. In some lines white also needs his queen on e-file. And yes, as white has completed his development, everything is ready to start an attack. Here we have queen c7, f4 d6, bishop d4, bishop e7 and e5. Black king is still in the center of the board, and if white can open up the position, black can face serious problems. D takes e5 was played, f takes e5 and bishop c5. On the surface this looks like a normal move, but it turns out that after this move, Tal is starting to face serious problems. It was better to move back the knight on d7 and then castle kingside, but in our game after f takes e5 we have bishop c5. Here Lutikov captured on c5 and after queen takes c5 played rook f2. Now the knight on f6 is hanging, that's why black moved back his knight on d7 and now we have bishop e4. And now it turns out that black is lack of one tempo. If black can castle, then black will solve all the problems. But now white will start making problems for black and there will be no time to castle. Now if bishop takes e4 then white can recapture with the knight, and if queen takes e5 then rook d1 with very nasty knight d6 threat. That's why Tal moved back his queen on c7, after which we have queen h5. Another targeted pawn and black can't even castle kingside because can get checkmated. Here we have g6, queen h4. This time white will start exploiting the weaknesses of the dark squares. Right now as you can see the pawn is hanging, but if knight takes e5 then white can go for the exchange of bishops and then can play queen f6, and yes, with this double attack white is winning a piece. Or after queen h4 if bishop takes e4 then knight takes e4, and if queen takes e5 then white can either play rook d1 or rook d2 and then announce this nasty check. That's why after queen h4 Tal played queen c4 and this time we have rook d1. Yes, all the time white is creating problems for black and is not allowing to castle. Here Tal went for a desperate f5 move, but after this en passant capture, black's position is simply hopeless. Here Tal castled queenside, but this time we have f7 and this pawn on f-file is a monster which will finish up black. Rook f8 was played and bishop takes b7 check, king takes b7 and a beautiful tactical shot by Lutikov, queen takes b8. Rook takes d8 was played and this time we have rook takes d7 check. Look at this guys, what's going? Usually it's Tal who is playing in typical tactical style, but this time he is on the other side of the board. Rook takes d7 was played and the white queen appears on the board. Yes, with several tactical shots white managed to simplify the position and white is simply a piece up. Let's see how is white going to realize his advantage. Actually the rest is easy. White is a piece up, black king is exposed and now white will confidently realize his advantage. First, white is freeing this g2 square for the king, and then we have a check, and then knight e4. Yes, white is centralizing his knight, and believe it or not, but after queen d1 check, king g2, Tal resigned. Just no need to prolong the resistance. Black's position is totally lost. As mentioned above, white is a piece up, and moreover, with an exposed black king and with no counterplay, black has no chance to survive. That's why Tal resigned. A very instructive game, I think. Usually it's Tal who is organizing a devastating attack against the opponent's king, which is stuck in the center of the board. But in this game, Tal himself found in a very difficult and awkward situation and lost the game. Thanks for watching. If you like this game, give it a thumbs up. For more games, consider subscribing to my channel. Also, press the bell button to get notified about new uploads. I will see you in my next video.